Hello everyone, welcome to the presentation on representation and description. In this presentation, first we will see the introduction, then representation, chain codes, polygonal approximations, boundary descriptors, and at the end we will see shape numbers. First, we will see the introduction. After an image has been segmented into regions, the resulting aggregate of segmented pixels usually is represented and described in the form of suitable for further computer processing. Representing a region involves two choices. First, represent the region in terms of external characteristics, that is, its boundary, or number two, represent it in terms of its internal characteristics, the pixels consisting of the region. Then, choosing a representation scheme, however, is only part of the task of making the data useful to a computer. The next task is to describe the region based on the chosen representation. For example, a region may be represented by its boundary and the boundary described by features such as its length, the orientation of the straight line joining its extreme points, and the number of concavities in the boundary. An external representation is chosen when the primary focus is on shape characteristics. An internal representation is selected when the primary focus is on regional properties such as color and texture. Sometimes it may be necessary to use both types of representation. In either case, the features selected as descriptors should be as insensitive as possible to variations in size, translation, and rotation. The representation. The segmentation techniques yield raw data in the form of pixels along the boundary or pixels contained in the region. Although these data sometimes are used directly to obtain descriptors as in determining the texture of a region, standard practice is to use schemes that compact the data into representations that are considerably more useful in the computation of descriptors. Different representation approaches are chain codes, polygon approximations, signatures, boundary segments, skeletons, etc. Chain codes. These are used to represent a boundary by a connected sequence of straight line segments of specified length and direction. Typically, this representation is based on 4 or 8 connectivity of the segments. The direction of each segment is coded by using a numbering scheme as shown in this figure. Here in figure A, the 4 direction chain code is shown, whereas in figure B, 8 direction chain code is shown. Digital images usually are acquired and processed in a grid format with equal spacing in the x and y directions. So, a chain code could be generated by following a boundary in, say, a clockwise direction and assigning a direction to the segments connecting every pair of pixels. This method generally is unacceptable for two principal reasons. Number one, the resulting chain code of codes tends to be quite long. And number two, any small disturbances along the boundary due to noise or imperfect segmentation cause changes in the code that may not be related to the shape of the boundary. An approach frequently used to circumvent the problems just discussed is to resemble the boundary by selecting a larger grid spacing as illustrated in figure 2a. Then, as the boundary is traversed, a boundary point is assigned to each node of the large grid, depending on the proximity of the original boundary to that node as shown in figure 2b. The resampled boundary obtained in this way then can be represented by a 4 or 8 code as shown in figure 2c and d respectively. The starting point in figure 2c is arbitrarily at the top left dot and the boundary is the shortest allowable 4 or 8 path in the grid of figure 2b. The boundary representation in figure 2c is the chain code 0033 dot dot 01, and in figure 2d it is the code 0766 dot 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 12. As might be expected, the accuracy of the resulting code representation depends on the spacing of the sampling grid. The chain code of boundary depends on the starting point. However, the code can be normalized with respect to the starting point by the straightforward procedure. We simply treat the chain code as a circular sequence of direction numbers and redefine the starting point so that the resulting sequence of number forms an integer of minimum magnitude. We can normalize also for rotation by using the first difference of the chain code instead of the code itself. This difference is obtained by counting the number of direction changes in a counterclockwise direction that separate two adjacent elements of the code. For instance, the first difference of the 4 direction chain code is 10103322 is 3133030. If we elect to treat the code as a circular sequence, then the first element of the difference is computed by using the transition between the last and the first components of the chain. Here, the result is 33133030. Size normalization can be achieved by altering the size of the resampling grid. Polygonal approximation. The digital boundary can be approximated with arbitrary accuracy by a polygon. For a closed curve, the approximation is exact when the number of segments in the polygon is equal to the number of points in the boundary so that each pair of adjacent points defines a segment in the polygon. In practice, the goal of polygonal approximation is to capture the essence of the boundary shape with the fewest possible polygonal segments. This problem in general is not trivial and can quickly turn into a time-consuming iterative search. Different polygonal approximation techniques are minimum perimeter polygons, merging techniques, and splitting techniques. We discuss polygonal approximations method by finding minimum perimeter polygons. This procedure is explained by using the next example. Suppose that we enclose a boundary by a set of concatenated cells as shown in figure 3a. It helps to visualize this enclosure as two walls corresponding to the outside and inside boundaries of the strip of cells, and think of object boundary as a rubber band contained within the walls. If the rubber band is allowed to shrink, it takes the shape shown in figure 2b, producing a polygon of minimum perimeter that fits the geometry established by the cell strip. Here, figure 3a shows the object boundary enclosed by cells, whereas figure b shows minimum perimeter polygon. If each cell encompasses only one point on the boundary, the error in each cell between the original boundary and the rubber band approximation at most would be square root of 2d, where d is the minimum possible distance between different pixels, that is, the distance between lines in the sampling grid used to produce the digital image. This error can be reduced by half by forcing each cell to be centered on its corresponding pixels in the original boundary. The objective is to use the largest possible cell size acceptable in a given application, thus producing minimum perimeter polygons, that is MPP, with the fewest number of vertices. Boundary descriptors. The length of the boundary is one of its simplest descriptors. The number of pixels along a boundary gives a rough approximation of its length. For a chain-coded curve with unit spacing in both directions, the number of vertical or horizontal components plus square root of 2 times the number of diagonal components gives its exact length. The diameter of boundary B is defined as diameter of B is equal to maximum distance between Pi and Pj, where D is the distance measured and Pi and Pj are the points on the boundary. The value of the diameter and the orientation of a line segment connecting the two extreme points that comprise the diameter are useful descriptors of boundary. This line is called the major axis of the boundary. The minor axis of a boundary is defined as the line perpendicular to the major axis and of such length that a box passing through the outer 4 points of intersection of the boundary with the two axes completely encloses the boundary. The box just described is called the basic rectangle, and the ratio of the major to the minor axis is called the eccentricity of the boundary. This also is useful descriptor. Curvature is defined as the rate of change of slope. In general, obtaining reliable measures of curvature at a point in the digital boundary is difficult because these boundaries tend to be locally ragged. However, using the difference between the slopes of adjacent boundary segments, which have been represented as straight lines, as a descriptor of curvature at the point of intersection of the segment sometimes proves useful. Shape numbers, Fourier descriptors, and statistical movements are some methods of boundary descriptors. Topological descriptors, texture are the methods of regional descriptors. Now, the shape numbers. The first difference of a chain-coded boundary depends on the starting point. The shape number of such a boundary based on the 4-directional code of this figure is defined as the first difference of smallest magnitude. The order, not a shape number, is defined as the number of digits in its representation. However, n is even for a closed boundary and its value limits the number of possible different shapes. Figure 4 shows all shapes of order 4, 6 and 8 along with their chain code representations, first differences and corresponding shape numbers. Note that the first difference is computed by treating the chain code as a circular sequence. Although the first difference of a chain code is independent of rotation, in general, the coded boundary depends on the orientation of the grid. Here in figure 4, all shapes of order 4, 6 and 8. The directions are from figure 1a and dots indicates the starting point. One way to normalize the grid orientation is by aligning the chain code grid with the sides of the basic rectangle. In practice, For a desired shape order, we find the rectangle of order n whose eccentricity defined in the previous section best approximates that of the basic rectangle and use this new rectangle to establish the grid size. For example, if n is equal to 12, all the rectangles of order 12 whose perimeter length is 12 are 2 into 4, 3 into 3 and 1 into 5. If the eccentricity of the 2 into 4 rectangle best matches the eccentricity of the basic rectangle for a given boundary, we establish a 2 by 4 grid centered on the basic rectangle and use the procedure outlined in section 1 to obtain the chain code. The shape number follows from the first difference of this code. Although the order of the resulting shape number usually equals n because of the way the grid spacing was selected, boundaries with the depressions comparable to the spacing sometimes yield shape numbers of order greater than n. Here is the end of this presentation. Thank you.